on, guys? Here to finally give you the scoop on what's under this tarp. My wife has one of these crazy self-defense thingies on her keychain, and it is just awesome for taking these knots out. Also, don't mess with my wife, because she will stab you. Inflict all kinds of pain. Never really learned how to tie good knots, so I just do the old loop-de-loo and tie them tight. That really is something they ought to teach in school. Instead, they just taught me that I'd never have a calculator in my pocket. Apparently we had a house guest in the car. A wolf spider. Well, there you have it. 1972 Mustang. It is not a fastback. I know it kind of looked like, well, the rebranded sports roof under the tarp. It is just the coupe, which has the wind tunnel action going on in the back. Now this car is really not in that bad a shape. It was actually in excellent condition probably 6 years ago, and she bought it. I'm fixing it up for a friend of the family. So this is not actually my car, which is one of the reasons why I picked up the Duster, but I'll get into that. So what I'm basically doing with this is reassembling it, because again, it's actually in pretty darn good condition on the inside. The interior is not bad at all, it just needs cleaned up, and the car is pretty rust free. The story is, the lady was my pediatrician whenever I was just a tiny little kid, and she's been a friend of the family ever since. And she got this for her son, who had an interest in working on cars, and it was actually all painted. See if I can put some pictures of it in here for you. It was in pretty good condition. It didn't need a lot of work, but he tinkered around with it, started doing some repairs on it, basically ripped it apart a pretty good ways. And I don't know if he lost interest or just got in over his head, and the thing just ended up sitting for probably 5 or 6 years in a barn. So compared to the Iron 6, there's not a whole lot of work here. Basically what I'm gonna do is strip it down and get epoxy on it, get it reassembled, get the interior as cleaned as I can. I'm not sure if the engine is a 302 or 289, or they even ran a few different ones in that year. And it's kind of hard to tell because at one point I believe they started using the 302 block for the 289. The hood, actually I do think I can open this. Probably snakes in here. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I'll have to do some investigating. As you can see, the car really isn't in that bad a condition. Let me see if I can show you the underside here. She looks pretty good. So this isn't going to be, I mean, it's going to be probably, I figured maybe 6 months worth of work with the time that I can invest in it. Maybe I'm being foolish. Maybe that's accurate. I'm still trying to figure that out. The only panel that needs replaced on it, as far as I can tell, is the trunk lid, which I'm not going to bother showing you, but for all the cheaper they are, I might try to repair that one, but it's probably just going to be easier to get a new deck lid for it, get this thing stripped down, get it in epoxy primer, I don't know if I'm going to paint it or if we'll decide to have somebody else paint it, but I'll get it in 2K primer, do all the work to it, and then we can decide whether I feel comfortable painting it or if we're going to have someone else do it. I don't know yet. I don't know what she'll want to do. But there's not a whole lot of metal work to be done here, which is one of the reasons why I picked up the Duster. The Duster needs plenty of metal work. It needs all kinds of work. And the Duster is my car, where this is not my car. So I have a lot more creative freedom with what I do to the Duster. Also, you know, I had some guys saying, you know, you're pinching pennies on the Iron 6 and then you go out and buy another car. I've been working on the Iron 6 nonstop for the last 2 years. I'm tired, I need a break from it. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just that simple. I want something else that I can work on. I always wanted a Duster. I said in the last video, or I said in that Duster video, my mom had a 72. I fell out of it. I have memories of driving around in that car. A 72 Duster was always on my list, and that happened to pop up, and I got a good deal on it. And so my plan is, I want to be able to work on this car and the Duster back and forth, so when I get burnt out I can hop over to another project. There isn't a specific deadline for this car. She doesn't want anything. She's in no rush. She's just excited about watching it get worked on the channel, seeing us bring it back to life. And yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of pressure there. So the plan is, once the Iron 6 is on the road, which I've been working on that non-stop, I have almost another video to go out on it. That will get put in storage for the winter, and this will live in my garage. The Duster will be in the driveway, and I'll just rotate them around because this runs and so does the Duster. And as I get tired of one project and want to recharge my batteries, I'll just bounce back and forth between the Duster and the Mustang. She doesn't really have a whole lot of input as far as what she wants the car to look like when it's finished, so that's yet to be determined. I have some ideas, but you know, ultimately that'll be her decision. When you look at the 72 Mustangs and you look at the coupes versus the sports roof, I mean, obviously the sports roofs, they're just mean looking cars. This has really grown on me. I prefer the coupes that have the spoilers in the back, which this does not, but we might add that on. I don't know. I think that really helps fill it out in the back and gives it a real mean look. But yeah, here she is. So this is the next project. I'm gonna start parting this out. So I got lots to do, plenty to do. Just got to get the Iron 6 on the road first, because that is, I haven't even looked at the Duster. I brought the Duster home, pulled it off the trailer, parked it in the driveway, threw a cover on it, and I haven't touched it since. I am full speed ahead on the Iron 6. I'm ready to get it on the road. I've just hit some hiccups, which you'll see in the next video whenever I put it up, which hopefully is tomorrow. So yeah, this is where we're at. It's basically just the trim and a few body panels, like the fenders are just hanging on, the doors, the one door's off. Nothing that I can't handle as far as getting it back together. We'll have to talk about an option for the headliner, because in order to install a headliner, obviously the glass has got to come out. You can get aftermarket headliners, I believe, for this car that do not require removing the windshield. So that'll be a decision for her. But yeah, it's a nice looking car. I'm excited about it. I will be doing another video of the Duster, giving an overview of it and basically what I plan on doing with it on the channel. But of everything I've done on the Iron 6, by far what I enjoyed the most, where I had the most amount of fun, was doing the metal work and putting on panels and stuff. And the Duster is going to lend itself to that very well, because it's a Mopar, it's a Plymouth, and aftermarket parts are hard to find and or either very expensive. I would like to try making a lot of the panel pieces that I need as much as I can. We'll see if I can do it. If I can't, then I'll probably break down and get aftermarket panels for it and stuff, but we'll see. Something I want to try. So, but anyway, as far as this goes, I believe, now I think this car was actually the Grand, because it did originally have the vinyl roof on top, and I believe that option was only available with the Grand in that year, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's it. That's one of the next projects for the channel, because I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between the Duster and this. But that's where we're headed once the Iron 6 is on the road. And as far as the Iron 6 goes, what I'm completing now is just phase 1 of the Iron 6. I plan on 3 phases. Phase 1 was to get it in epoxy primer, get it on the road, drive it around and enjoy it. Phase 2, I would like to do some engine work to it. I'm keeping the straight 6 in it, but I want to look at my options. I have a second 200 straight 6 sitting right here. That one is in better condition than the one I have, but I'm looking at some options of what I can do to it to get a little more power. There's not a lot you can do, but I have some ideas, something I want to try, experiment with. And then phase 3 will be, for the Iron 6, we'll be getting it in high build primer and giving it a good paint job. I don't know when I'm gonna get to that, but it's on the plate anyway. So yeah, that's it. Now you see it. Let me know what you guys think. And until the next episode, guys, stay driven.